Borenstien for OneWrestling.com with the Raw Wrestlers of the Week for the April 18th episode of the program. And coming in at number 3, we actually have two wrestlers in John Cena and Sin Cara as a tag team. They went up against Alex Riley and The Miz in tag team action. This was a pretty giant leap for Sin Cara from last week, where he faced Primo in one-on-one action. He's getting some face time with the face of the WWE itself in Cena. And those two ended up coming out with the victory when The Miz got knocked off of the apron by John Cena to allow Cena and Riley to basically have a one-on-one situation in the ring. He put Riley down with the attitude adjustment, tagged Sin Cara into the match, who finished things off with a springboard moonsault to go right into the pinfall. So a big win for those two against the man that Cena's going to face at Extreme Rules for the WWE Championship, and a good win for Sin Cara as well. Once again, going from that giant leap against facing Primo one-on-one to tagging up with John Cena himself. So coming in at number 3 are those guys, John Cena and Sin Cara. At number 2, we have Randy Orton, who faced CM Punk in a WrestleMania 27 rematch. And much like the rules for WrestleMania, Nexus was banned from ringside. If you'll remember from last week, the Nexus actually cost Orton an opportunity at the WWE title at Extreme Rules when they interfered in that gauntlet match. So those guys were once again banned from ringside during this one-on-one encounter between Punk and Orton. And Orton did manage to come out with the victory, coming up with the pinfall to score the 1-2-3. After the match, he was assaulted by the Nexus, who all came charging down and attacked him, and it looked as if Mason Ryan was going to come in and punt him in the head. He was the most aggressive in trying to get at Orton, but Punk kept holding him back because Punk himself wanted to punt Orton in the head. Unfortunately, all that time between those two bickering allowed Orton to get back into the swing of things, and just as Punk came charging into him, Orton came up with the RKO to close the show with that. So he did suffer an attack during the program right after the match. However, he did score the pinfall, and he did get the last laugh with that RKO on Punk. So Orton coming in as the number 2 wrestler of the week. And at number 1, we have John Morrison, who, just like Orton, failed in his bid to be a part of that WWE title match at Extreme Rules during that gauntlet match last week. However, Morrison was able to come down and goad R-Truth into putting his spot in the 3-way title match inside the steel cage on the line in a match to open up the program itself, and Morrison was able to come out with the victory with the Starship Pain. So he will now take R-Truth's spot in that WWE title 3-way match inside the steel cage at Extreme Rules, going up against John Cena and The Miz. And John Morrison did end up getting attacked after the match by R-Truth, who had a pretty vicious heel turn following the matchup itself. He was pretty disappointed that he went ahead and he got suckered into putting his spot on the line and went ahead and lost it after he's waited so long to get an opportunity like that for the WWE title. So he did turn on Morrison and lay down a pretty hellacious beatdown to the Monday Night Delight. But even with that in mind, Morrison, he's still got that title shot in hand. He probably won't win, and I'm sure a feud with R-Truth is awaiting him on the other side of Extreme Rules. However, he does at least have the opportunity, and hopefully he'll put up a good showing at Extreme Rules. So John Morrison coming up with the number 1 wrestler of the week. So again, we have John Cena and Sin Cara coming in at number 3. At number 2 is Randy Orton, and at number 1 is John Morrison for our WWE Raw Wrestlers of the Week for the April 18th episode of the program. So again, this has been Neil Borenstien with OneWrestling.com.